Right now, several people are unaccounted for after a cargo ship slams into a Baltimore bridge, causing it to collapse. News 3 Now takes a close look into the conditions of some of Wisconsin's bridges. Also, the defense takes the stand in the Mark Wagner trial, who they brought in to testify on the case. And later, UW-Madison is receiving millions of dollars in funding for research. Where that money is coming from. Welcome to News 3 Now. Thanks for joining us. Eric has the week off. We begin with continuing coverage out of Baltimore, where search, rescue, and recovery efforts are underway after a cargo ship brought down the city's Francis Scott Key Bridge this morning. Officials say at least 8 people and multiple vehicles were on the bridge when it fell into the Patapsco River below. 2 were saved from the water, and at least 6 remain unaccounted for. Right now, investigators say preliminary findings point to an accident. The bridge collapse in Baltimore may have you thinking, what is the state of the bridges in our area? Jalen Banks joins us now with what he learned today.
According to the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, Wisconsin ranks 23rd in the U.S. in the state's percentage of bridges classified as structurally deficient. One of those is used by Madisonians nearly every day.
The ARTBA says there are over 1,700 bridges in need of repairs. 943 of those are considered structurally deficient.
The thing is, overall nationwide, we have a dire need for infrastructure renewal. And the matter is that it takes a lot of investment and it has to prioritize based on risk assessment.
One of those structurally deficient bridges is right here in Madison, John Nolan, which sees over 40,000 crossings a day. And having been built in the 1960s, is it better to be fixed now than later?
It's related to the cost because we have different modes of deterioration than the potential accidents. So it all has to do with what is the highest priority in addressing those in that fashion.
And in an interview with infrastructure advisor to President Biden, Mitch Landrieu, he says the administration is committed to addressing these issues, not just for the city of Madison, but for the state.
And somebody that today, Joe Biden, has 46,000 projects right now that have been financed across the country. That's extraordinary. It's going to create a lot of jobs, a lot of growth, a lot of economic development, and the people of Wisconsin have already benefited tremendously, and there's more to come.
Wisconsin is set to receive over $200 million put toward needed bridge repairs.
We'll continue to follow the latest on the Baltimore bridge collapse here on News 3 Now and on channel3000.com.
In Advisor Landrieu's visit to Madison today, he stopped by the new Centro Hispano building, and in his exclusive sit-down interview with Jalen Banks, he emphasized why the Biden administration has made such a push on infrastructure throughout Wisconsin and the country.
Infrastructure is not sexy, but it's necessary. It's kind of like air that people really don't pay too much attention to, but like you die if you don't have it. Right. And of course, you don't need to think a whole lot, but you can't get to and from work or to church or the ballpark or wherever you're going if the roads don't work. And you can't have economic growth and development. Nobody can make any money.
For the full interview with Senior Advisor Mitch Landrieu, you can find it on our website at channel3000.com. Former President Donald Trump is coming back to Wisconsin next week. According to WISC Politics, the former president will be in Green Bay on April 2nd for a rally. The event will be held at the Hyatt Regency, and it'll begin at 5 p.m. Doors will open at 2 o'clock. Temperature is cooling down below freezing tonight. Let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. You can hear that wind out there, Alex.
Oh, you sure can, Charlotte. I'm not going to lie. I was hanging out in our garage over here. I know it's in the upper 30s out there. That's not bad for Wisconsin standards, but it is windy, cold. What a shock to the system out there. There's even a few flurries out there. They've scattered about Dane County. Not seeing a whole bunch out there now, although we did have a few earlier. Our friends up towards Big Flats, up towards Nisita, just east of Camp Douglas. You can hear the wind in my microphone here. They're seeing snowflakes flutter about out there, but we're not expecting accumulation from these snow showers out there. They're few and far between. They'll end overnight tonight. But just like you said, Charlotte, it's cold. Temperatures crashing. I said last night the temperatures would be crashing this evening at just about this time. We're at 36 right now in Madison, as cold as 28, and that's where the winds and that's where the air are coming from Viroqua right now, from the north and from the west. And with those winds, those temperatures have dropped significantly, 15, 20, 25 degrees colder than where we were last night. That's why you see all those blues and all those purples on this map. We've had wind gusts as high as 37 miles per hour. Our friends in Janesville, about 35 here in Madison and 37 in Lone Rock. So it's not pleasant out on the patio by any stretch of the imagination. A cold start to your Wednesday morning. We track the return of the sun and the return of the 50-degree weather coming up in Maine weather.
The prosecution is resting their case in the trial of Mark Wagner. Now the defense is taking the stand as they try to prove the DCI agent's innocence. Yesterday, Quadron Wilson, the man who was allegedly shot by Wagner, took the stand to give his account of events. But today, the defense brought Wagner and another DCI agent forward who was at the scene to testify. Agent Brian Volenberg spoke on Wagner's condition after the incident occurred. When asked about how Wagner reacted after the fact, here's what he said.
He was like shell shook, like he was very, you could tell, upset or like in shock of what happened. He had kind of a blank stare on his face.
The defense is expected to rest their case sometime next week as the trial continues. The defense is expected to bring more key witnesses to the stand, including, once again, Wagner himself. Today, UW-Madison is introducing a copyright property model. This model will streamline the process to license laboratory discoveries to businesses and entrepreneurs. The Badger IP Industry Advantage program will make research agreements and copyright agreements simpler. In a statement, the interim vice chancellor for research said in part, with the Badger IP Industry program, we are better equipped to create partnerships that build on UW-Madison's research discoveries to bring new products to market that address society's emerging challenges. Meanwhile, the university is also getting millions in federal money for research initiatives. It's made possible by a pair of bipartisan bills signed into law earlier this month to keep the government funded through the end of September. Of the $56 million, more than half is going toward the Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center, a bioenergy center inside the Wisconsin Energy Institute on campus.
It's a huge collaboration across multiple bioenergy research centers. So we're part of a consortium, and this is one of our signature projects at UW-Madison. And we really are looking at using for making different types of biofuels.
The passage of those bills allows the campus to build on its research in several high-demand areas. In Rock County, the city of Beloit announcing some closures this week. This Friday, the city is changing the operating hours of some public facilities so they can observe a spring holiday. City Hall will only be open for absentee voting from 1 to 5 p.m. All city facilities will be closed on Friday except for the Beloit Public Library. The transit system is operating on a holiday schedule. The specifics can be found on the city's website. And the city also announcing that public transit will be free for all upcoming elections. That includes next week's primary. In a news release today, the city announced that bus fare will be free on April 2nd to make transportation to the polls easier for everyone. Now, this only applies to Beloit transit routes. Express routes will still be charged. These free routes will continue for other election dates, including the November 5th presidential election. The Wisconsin Supreme Court siding against Amazon today. The court agreed with a lower court's ruling declassifying some delivery drivers as employees. The original decision came down from an appeals court in 2023. It found that drivers in the Amazon Flex program are a part of the state's employment insurance system. Now that means they are entitled to unemployment if they are laid off. This case could now be used to claim many workers in the, quote, gig economy as employees instead of contractors. Well, still ahead, Wisconsin's biggest utilities are looking to build new clean energy developments. Who they're looking to hire. Plus, two of the world's largest credit card networks agree to settle a decades-long antitrust case. We'll be right back.
watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
We've successfully represented people injured in truck accidents for more than 35 years. We know what it takes to get the results you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're ready to hit the road, tackle the yard, or start a new project, we get you the right products at the right prices. Like 36-pound bags of Estate Crabgrass Preventer, $32.99. 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand Cardinal Songbird food, $14.99. Rewards members save an extra $1. And 5 quarts of Blaine's full synthetic motor oil, $23.99. Just $20.99 for rewards members. We get you outdoors because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Why choose between that new deck you've been wanting and that vacation you've been dreaming about? Get both. A deck that outlasts wood 3 to 1 and up to a 7-day vacation on one of the top cruise lines or at one of our hundreds of resorts with no blackout date restrictions. Call now or visit the website for your new deck today.
Only at Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. That means your priorities are ours, too. Our retirement tools and advice can help you leave a legacy for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
Catch the Bucks on broadcast TV when they square off with the Pelicans on your new local home for select Bucks games. Watch Giannis and the Bucks fly into NOLA to zap Zion and the soaring Pelicans. It's Dame time in the Big Easy. Bucks, Pelicans on your new local home for select Milwaukee Bucks games. Thursday, March 28th at 7 on Television Wisconsin.
News 3 Now brings you a preview of Wisconsin's spring elections, what you need to know before heading to the polls on April 2nd.
Plus analysis from both sides on the key issues today and moving forward to November.
Campaign 2024, Battleground Wisconsin.
Tonight at 6:30. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Wisconsin's 4 major utilities and state-building trade unions are employing local union workers in the construction of solar, wind, and battery developments in the state. The plan by Alliant Energy, Madison Gas and Electric, WEC Energy Group, and Xcel Energy includes plans to build more solar farms, battery storage, and wind turbines. Wisconsin Public Service Commission projects nearly 19,000 construction jobs to build these new clean energy developments. Visa and MasterCard have agreed to settle a decades-long antitrust case filed by merchants. The $30 billion settlement would lower U.S. merchant fees over 5 years. Swipe fees cost them up to 4% of the total transaction a customer makes. This agreement could lower those fees by at least 0.4 percentage points for a minimum of 3 years. Both Visa and MasterCard say access to credit will not be impacted. Well, the Powerball jackpot is still growing. This after no one won the grand prize last night. 2 people did get close, though, winning $1 million each. That's not too bad. The next Powerball drawing is tomorrow, where the jackpot is now at $865 million. If the grand prize is won, it would be the 5th largest in the game's history. The lump sum payment would be $416.1 million before taxes. As for Mega Millions, the next drawing is tonight, and the jackpot is at $1.1 billion. Good luck. Coming up, you may have noticed more people wearing the color purple today, and we're going to share the reason why for that. Plus, it's a condition millions of Americans don't know they have, how you can figure out if you have prediabetes and how you can reverse it. Also, you may have to turn the heat back on later tonight. Alex has the complete forecast after the break.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret. But here's the deal. I understand how to get things done for the American people. I led the country through the COVID crisis. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world. I passed a law that lowers prescription drug prices, caps insulin at $35 a month for seniors. For 4 years, Donald Trump tried to pass an infrastructure law, and he failed. I got it done. Now we're rebuilding America. I passed the biggest law in history to combat climate change because our future depends on it. Donald Trump took away the freedom of women to choose. I'm determined to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. Donald Trump believes the job of the president is to take care of Donald Trump. I believe the job of the president is to fight for you, the American people, and that's what I'm doing. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Can we do one more take?
Look, I'm very young, energetic, and handsome. What the hell am I doing this for?
I'm Megan Tim, Director of Community Health at SSM Health. You may know us as healthcare providers, but we live here too.
And as good neighbors, we know our community thrives when we take care of each other.
That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are sharing the keys to health. Watch for our expert information and advice on air, online, and at fun local events. Join SSM Health and News 3 Now, and together we'll unlock a healthier community by taking time for kids.
Watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Welcome back. Today is Purple Day, a global effort to raise awareness about epilepsy. And I'm wearing purple for my son Gio and the others we know and love who live with this every single day. Epilepsy is a neurological condition that impacts the central nervous system, causing seizures and other symptoms. The types of seizures vary depending on the cause and type of epilepsy. About 50 million people around the world suffer from the condition, but it can often go undiagnosed.
The vast majority of seizures are not the classic, what you see on TV, sometimes called grand mal or tonic-clonic convulsions. It's often what brings people to medical attention, but is not typically how people present with seizures.
Another important goal for the day is removing the stigma associated with epilepsy. Those with epilepsy can lead normal lives, especially when their epilepsy is controlled. Today is Diabetes Alert Day. It's a wake-up call for the more than 1 in 3 adults in the U.S. who have prediabetes, and most of those people don't even know they have it, according to the CDC. Mandy Gaither explains how you can determine whether you have prediabetes and what you can do right now to reverse it.
It's a serious health condition where blood sugar is elevated, but not yet to the level of type 2 diabetes. And in the U.S., about 98 million Americans have prediabetes, and 81% of them have no idea they have it.
Which puts them at serious risk for other serious health conditions like type 2 diabetes, like heart attack and stroke.
Knowing whether you have prediabetes is important. 1 minute, 7 questions is one way to determine risk. You can take the test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Know where you stand, you can talk to your doctor and get a validated blood test to just make certain that you have prediabetes.
If you do have this serious condition, the CDC says simple lifestyle changes can help. That includes more physical activity, healthier food choices, not smoking, and managing weight. The agency says keeping track of what you eat with a food diary can help you stay aware of what goes into your mouth and the effect those food choices can have on health.
The good news is that prediabetes can be prevented and type 2 diabetes can be delayed or reversed.
The CDC says even losing a small amount of weight, like 10 to 15 pounds for a person who's 200 pounds, can lower their risk of this condition. The agency says involving others like friends, family, or coworkers in your journey to better health can help give you the support you need to make some good choices. Well, chilly temperatures tonight. Here's Alex once again with a complete look at the forecast. Hi, Alex.
Hey there, Charlotte. Yeah, it's going to feel a bit like winter. You'd think, well, winter was a thing of the past. Well, not for tonight. It's going to be turning colder overnight tonight. A chilly Wednesday is in store as well. And then we'll bounce back by the time we get to Thursday, going on into your Friday. Doppler track out there showing a couple of snow flurries out there. We've got one we're tracking near Cottage Grove, Fitchburg. You're probably thinking, well, they're just flurries out there, Alex. But what a change 24 hours has made across southern Wisconsin. More flurries and maybe a couple of snow showers up towards Necedah along Highway 21 near Big Flats, just north of Adams right now. And this is the colder air really moving in behind our weather system. Not widespread out there, but don't be surprised again to see a few flurries during the evening hours. I said last night the temperatures were going to crash by this time tonight, and boy have they. 34 in Lone Rock, 33 in the Dells, 35 in Madison, and our friends in Janesville at 37 degrees. And colder air is going to be coming in from the north and from the west. We got 35 in Madison. We had a couple of raindrops during the 5 o'clock show. Well, that's been swapped out with a couple of snowflakes. Those winds west-southwest at 8. That's sustained. Those are not the gusts. The gusts are upwards of 25, 30 miles per hour. Just enter the patio out back, and I can tell you it's breezy out there. Temperatures tonight dipping down through the 30s, cloudy skies. It's going to feel a lot colder than where we woke up to this morning. You're going to wake up to 23 in Madison, 25 in Lone Rock, and 27 in Janesville. Said earlier we're going to track the sunshine. Here it comes by noon, especially for the southwestern, let's say half of the area. Mineral Point, Madison, Monroe, breaking into a couple of those rays of sunshine. Better chances by the time we get to 5 o'clock or so. If we can break the sunshine, we can break into the 40s. If it stays cloudy most of the day, you can bet $1 that the high temperatures will be in the lower to middle 30s out there. So I'll be keeping an eye on that by the time we get to the 10 o'clock show, seeing where our chances for clouds are going to be. I also mentioned last night that the heavier rain would line up along I-39 and I-90 and points off towards the east, and that verified as well. Janesville estimated 2.4 inches of rain. Jefferson at 2.1 inches of rain. Official here at the studio, a little bit over an inch, but you go into southwest Wisconsin, where I warned last night, unfortunately, you might not get the drops, and unfortunately, the drops are not very plentiful over southwest Wisconsin. But I'm a perpetual optimist. We do have more rain chances in the future as we head towards Friday and Saturday. Better chances as we head towards Sunday and Monday. Could be a couple of snowflakes with that, too. We'll be keeping a first alert on that as well. Turning much colder overnight tonight. Chilly midweek, warmer by Friday, and then turning unsettled by the time we head towards Easter Sunday. Later Easter Sunday, we could be breaking into some rain and snow showers, looking rain and snow shower likelihood Monday and Tuesday of next week with cooler temperatures. And then we rebound as temperatures climb to near 50 by the end of next week.
And coming up in sports, another Badger leaving Wisconsin, but why A.J. Storr left the door open for a possibility of a return. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The Honda you want is here. Driving the moment with the rugged and capable Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Find your adventure with great offers now available on the Honda you want. All from the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
TDS Fiber Internet makes our home smarter. Working, playing, living, learning. It's all better with TDS Fiber Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's award-winning internet served up by friendly local folks. It's what keeps us connected. And isn't that what it's all about? Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS.
Washington has become corrupt. Career politicians sell themselves to special interests and end up working for them and not you. I've worked hard, been fortunate, I don't need their special interest money, and I won't take it. If you decide to elect me as your next senator, I'll donate my entire salary to a Wisconsin charity every year. I'm Eric Hovde. I can't be bought, and I'll put you and our country first. I approve this message.
Do not go.
It's free if I do it, babe.
Whoa, you need the experts.
Let the experts at Feldco make your home renewal project a cinch with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years.
Free installation ends Sunday. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Catch the Bucks on broadcast TV when they square off with the Pelicans on your new local home for select Bucks games. Watch Giannis and the Bucks fly into NOLA to zap Zion and the soaring Pelicans. It's Dame time in the Big Easy. Bucks, Pelicans on your new local home for select Milwaukee Bucks games. Thursday, March 28th at 7 on Television Wisconsin.
On Sunday, Connor Essegian announced he's transferring from Wisconsin. Today, Greg Gard's roster was dealt another departure. A.J. Storr has opted to enter the NBA draft, but will maintain his college eligibility, meaning the sophomore guard will go through the draft process and then decide his future after receiving feedback from the next level. Storr led the Badgers in scoring this season, averaging just under 17 points per game. The deadline to return to school is June 16th. Meanwhile, on the women's side, after erasing a 19-point deficit, the Badgers advanced to the Super 16 of the WNIT. Wisconsin will host Illinois State on Thursday. It's the first time in 13 years the UW women are playing postseason basketball. The Badger men's hockey team has had a long break since the Big Ten tournament. Wisconsin hasn't played a game since March 10th. But that's going to change this week in Providence. Mike Hastings' squad will face off against the defending national champs on Friday, and Quinnipiac is as good as advertised. 26 wins, a regular season conference championship, and they have experience on the big stage. So the Badgers know they're going to have to earn it once the puck drops.
We're just going to have to be as prepared as we can be, and then try and take advantage of some of the rest and get that rust eliminated as quick as possible, because one thing that Quinnipiac has a history of doing for the most part is they're quick starters. The details that they get to control, they're buttoned down. So there's you know, they're gonna do what they do. We have to go out and do what we do.
And spring practice has already begun for the Badger football team, but it's never too early to start looking at future schedules. Wisconsin announced a home-and-home series with Cal. The Badgers will travel to Berkeley in 2029 before hosting the Golden Bears in 2030. UW is 1-5 all-time against Cal, with that lone win coming back in 1946. Of course, all of us remember that game pretty well,
yeah,
huh?
just clear as day. Hey, thanks for coming back. I think everybody was tired of me doing sports.
Well, I thought about staying out there because that drive was pretty long, but we had a good time.
Oh my God, that's good to hear.
Welcome back.
All right, so this rain. Let's wrap this up.
Yep, the rain is wrapping up, but the wind and the cold, that's going to stick around tonight. 35 out there right now. We'll be waking up to the lower 20s for your Wednesday morning. We'll warm up by the end of the week.
Sounds good. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. Have a great evening, and we will see you back here at 10.